good afternoon, good evening, whatever applies to you. I hope you're well and welcome to Big Foodie Geek, and I am the Big Foodie Geek. Now, if I've managed to film and edit this video in time, this video should be going up on Pancake Day, or if you want to give it its proper religious name, Shrove Tuesday. Shrove Tuesday is the day when Christians look into themselves, self-examine themselves, and decide what they really want. And what they really want is pancakes. I think that's how it goes. Maybe I might be a little bit off there. But it's become the day, in the UK at least, I don't know about where else in the world, but in the UK, it becomes a day where we just indulge in pancakes, and quite frankly, I don't need an excuse to indulge in pancakes. But if there wants to be a specific day for eating pancakes, then I'm all for it. So I thought Pancake Day is the perfect day to test out something that I got probably about 2 years ago. I picked this up before I stopped filming around mid-2021, so this must have been like, yeah, nearly 2 years ago I picked this thing up. It is a traditional crepe maker from Breville. Yep, it is a appliance that just allows you to make crepes. Well, actually it can do a little bit more than that, but it is essentially something for making crepes. If you look on the box here, it's got a nice big round flat surface, perfect for making pancakes. You get a little paddle thing that allows you to spread out the mixture, and it is essentially like a hob almost by itself. So it should be really good for making pancakes. That's what it says. If it only does one thing, it's got to do it well, right? Right? So I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to see how it is at making crepes, and if I've got time, then I'll try and do something else with it as well, see how versatile it is. But I have just finished work. It is the evening. I'm not going to spend ages on this, but if it is something that is looking quite decent, then maybe I'll do another video or maybe some shorts and see what else we can do with it. But I just want to put it through its paces and see how it is at making pancakes, making crepes, because that's what it's supposed to do, and it's Pancake Day, or will be Pancake Day very soon. So let's give it a bash, shall we? So before we put it through its paces, let's have a quick look in the box and see what's in there. So there should be, yep, here is the crepe maker. Oh, and a manual, which is always good. There's the plug. And last but not least is the little pancake paddle thing for spreading out your batter. And that is it really, that is all you get in there. Can't remember how much this thing cost. Like I said, I bought it like 2 years ago. Don't think it was very expensive. I will put up how much it cost on the screen. So there's not much to it. It is literally like this surface, which is your main cooking surface. And then you've got a power button for on and off. And then you've got a slider to change your heat settings. That's pretty much it. It's a little bit scuffed. I don't know why it's not been out of the box before. I have to give it a good wipe down before I use it, which is generally a good idea when you get new things anyway. So let's have a look at the manual. Let's see what it says. So your temperature control, ready to cook light, which goes green, on off button, on light, which is red, non-stick cooking surface, a cooled storage for wrapping your cool around, and a spreader. Okay, nothing fancy about that. It is literally a spreader. It's like the budget knockoff villain from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But you may call me the Shredder.
I think the tricky part's going to be spreading out the batter first time using the spreader, because yeah, it's probably got a knack to it, which I won't have, because usually I would just use my frying pan to kind of spread the batter around the pan by just tilting it, but I can't do that on this. So it has got a bunch of recipes in it that you can try out. So I will be trying out the basic crepe recipes. This makes approximately 5. There are other crepe recipes out there, but I thought, to be fair, I will use the one in the booklet. Honestly, judging from my experience with the pizza oven before, I am probably going to start off on setting 4 and not 5 because, well, if you've watched the pizza oven video, you will know why. So I'm going to go off and make crepes using this recipe. I won't film it because, quite frankly, if you are that keen about making crepes, then you probably know how to make them already. Or if you are interested in this and you don't really know how to make crepes, well, the recipe is right here. So either way, you don't need to watch me do it. Let's save some time, shall we? So my crepe maker is all set up. It is at temperature number 4, whatever that is. And I know it's at that because the green light here has just gone off. So this is now ready to use. So I'm going to quickly grease this with a little bit of oil. And right here, I've got the pancake batter that I made from the book. It says to leave it to rest for an hour, but I haven't given it that amount of time because, like I said, I am doing this in an evening and I don't want to leave it for an hour to sit around while I waste time. So it's not as rested as it should be. So there's a caveat already, but hopefully it will still work fine. This heating up has also allowed the factory smell to go from it as well, which oddly reminded me of a tattoo studio. Don't ask me why. Right, it says to use about 60 to 70 milliliters of pancake batter. I am just going to eyeball it. And then I'm going to use my spreader to spread this out. Let's see how I do this. Already managed to get it over to the side. How am I doing with this? Absolutely terribly. This is really bad. Probably not enough batter actually. It needs lots more than that. Let's try a bit more. It's cooking it very, very quickly. It's cooking it faster than I can spread it out. Oh, wow. A bit more. Quickly get this out to the edges. Let's try and at least get a whole pancake in. Wow, that just cooks it really, really quickly. Okay, to be honest, that's probably at the point where I can probably flip it over now. Let's see if it will come up off of this. Let's see if I haven't ruined it already. The first one's always bad. No matter what you do, the first one's always bad. But to be honest, that's actually not that bad. Took a few attempts to get the right amount of batter, but that is a very nice, thin looking crepe. So let's give it a minute on that side. Now I might just turn it over again just to get a bit more colour on that side because I'm worried about burning it, but it isn't. Right, I'm going to turn that over again. Oh, that looks better. That looks good. That looks nice, very nice. Let's give that like 20 seconds on that side again. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Right, let's get that onto a plate. One onto a plate. There we go, one crepe done. Let's see if I can do that again without making a complete hash of it like I did the first time round. Let's try some more batter this time around. That's better than the last one anyway. Let's try and fill in that hole, there we go. There we go, that's looking better that time around. Quick flip. Again, that could have done with more time on that side, but I'd rather have it a little bit undercooked than overcooked because then I can just flip it back over again. Again, that's cooking very, very quickly and that is only on the number 4 setting, which you might be able to see just here. So if I put that on 5, that would be even quicker. But to be honest, that is pretty quick anyway. Back over, oh, there we go. Lovely jubbly. Turned into Del Boy all of a sudden.
Play it nice and cool, son. Nice and cool, you know what I mean?
I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I'm going to use the rest of the batter. You don't need to watch me do that. And then I'm going to try out something else because I'm curious to see what else this can do. Okay, I managed to get 4 pancakes out of that in the end. The last one was a bit naff because I didn't have a lot of batter left, so it's a little bit sorry looking. But the third one, the second to last one, was very, very nice indeed. Look at that, that looks really nice. So if I'd had more batter, then that one would have turned out better. Batter, better, there's some sort of play on words there. But that worked better than I thought it would. Really, there you go, there's your play on words. But yeah, that worked really well. I was really happy with that by the end. Bit tricky to use the spreader thing, but the more you use it, the better you'll get, pretty much like anything. Right, while this is still hot and ready to go, what I want to try and do with it is make some very quick quesadillas. So what I've actually done is I've rolled out some fresh quesadilla dough, which I just threw together. It's literally flour, oil, water, and a bit of salt. These might be a bit rough and ready, but I'm going to try and throw this straight on here and see if it can cook it like this. And if this cooks well, then I'll slap 2 together with a little bit of filling and try and make a quesadilla on this to see how it gets on. Because it says in the booklet thing, you can do that. So let's see if it does. And let's whack this straight on there. Again, it's going to be a bit rough and ready because I've done this very, very quickly. I've also quickly nudged this up to 5 as well because I think I want as much heat on this to cook it really well. First one might be a bit naff actually because, to be honest, that looks really thin, probably too thin. Is this a good time to tell you that this is the first time I've made fresh quesadilla dough? Is it showing? I think it is. I mean, it's cooking, that's for sure, but I think that is just going to be way too thin. So I'm going to call that one a loss and try another one. Right, instead of trying to flop this straight on there, I'm going to try and put this straight face down on the greaseproof paper and hopefully that will let me keep its shape a little bit more. Right, 3, 2, 1. Lift that up there, that's looking better already. Right, not sure long how to give it, but maybe a minute, minute and a half on each side. By the way, I'm very conscious of the fact that I might have said quesadilla dough earlier, but what I really meant was tortilla dough. Because you use tortillas to make quesadillas, so please don't come after me in the comments, I am correcting myself. Right, let's give this a quick turnover. There we go, that's looking more like a tortilla. So I'm just going to give that another moment on that side. Yes, I'm using my hands. Yes, it is hot. Please don't try this at home. Right, that one is looking better than the last one for sure. That can pass as a tortilla, I think, to make a quesadilla. Whereas this one looks like the bastard offspring of a crepe and a papadom, to be honest. Right, let's do one more and see if I can make a quesadilla. Right, there we go. That is another passable second tortilla, so I am going to try and make a quesadilla now. So I'm going to put some cheese straight on there, try and not get it on the surface. Then I'm just going to go over with some red onion, and keeping this very simple, and some strips of red pepper. Again, I'm being very rough and ready about this because I am strapped for time. Put some more cheese over the top, and then we'll go on with our second tortilla. I'm going to give this some time to cook and let that cheese melt, and I will need to turn it over so it cooks on both sides. Okay, that's had a good couple of minutes on the other side now, and that is, to be honest, going to be about there, I think, because that cheese is melting. Yeah, look at that, that is a melty cheese. So I'm going to take that off onto a plate, let it cool down for a bit, and there you go, one quesadilla. A bit rough and ready, but it did it. So I'm going to give this a try in a moment, but I'm going to get some fillings into my pancakes first. Okay, I've got my pancake here. This is the third one. This is the one that I think came out the best. And usually I would just go for a nice, simple lemon and sugar, but I don't have any lemons. So what I'm going to do instead, golden syrup, because this is naughty. And I'm just going to give that a quick turn over there and turn that one over there. And I'm going a bit different with this because I'm doing a bit of honey. I'm going to flip that like that. A little bit more honey, just for a bit of stickage. Then I'm just putting on some chocolate granola for a bit of crunch, and flip that over there. That is another one to try, which is a little bit different. So there we go, there's two pretty decent looking pancakes there, I think. So I'm going to try those in a sec once I've cut into my quesadilla. So my quesadilla's had a little bit to cool, so I just want to cut into it so we can kind of see just how that has turned out. There we go, look at that. That has actually turned into a pretty nice, simple red onion, pepper and cheese quesadilla. Technically I'm saying cheese there twice because obviously cheese is queso, but you know what I mean. But that looks pretty good and that worked. And to be honest, if you can do tortillas better than I can, then that will come out even better. But I'm still pretty happy with that, especially for a first attempt at tortillas. There we go, that crepe maker actually worked pretty well. Once you get the technique right with getting your pancake batter on there and spreading it out and things like that, those will make some really nice pancakes. To be honest, my technique was an absolute pile of crepe and they still came out really nice. So I'm going to give these a quick try. I'm going to try the golden syrup one first because quite frankly, can't go wrong with it. My camera's battery just picked a brilliant time for it to run out there. So now I'm going to try it. You can see all that golden syrup has leaked out now. So that's a bit naughty, but let's give it a try. You can't go wrong with this. Golden syrup is extremely naughty. It is pretty much just pure sugar. You won't find me putting it on everything, but pancakes, every once in a while, it is very, very nice. Then let's try this one as well because it's a little left field, a bit of honey, a bit of granola in there for a bit of texture. Let's see how this turns out. Yeah, that works very, very well. If you ever want like a breakfast crepe that's a little bit different, try that. Try a bit of honey, a bit of granola in between your crepe. Can't go wrong. So two very, very nice pancakes there indeed, but let's give this quesadilla a try and see how it's turned out. So the cheese has had a little bit of time to set, but that still looks very, very nice indeed. So I'm going to taste this right now. Just as I bit into the quesadilla, the other bloody battery went. This is what happens when I don't try and prep before a video. This is what happens when I do a spur of the moment video. So I just had to change the battery again. So yeah, that happened. Anyway, I took a bite out of the quesadilla and I can confirm it is nice, thankfully. But yeah, that is very, very nice. And I'm sure if you are adept at making tortillas, that will come out even better. But even for a quick slapdash quesadilla, that came out very well. So yeah, you can do quesadillas on those as well, or you might be able to do other things. But for crepes and for quesadillas, it definitely works and it's a nice bit of kit. I'm not going to use it all the time. Obviously, I'm not going to have pancakes every day, but it's a very nice little bit of kit. And if you are really into your pancakes, then you can probably give that a go as well. And to be honest, I could probably give it a go on American pancakes at some point as well, see how those turn out. But I'm running out of time, I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to wrap this up very, very quickly. So there you go, a quick impromptu pancake day special, which was pretty torturous for me, but hopefully entertaining and useful for you. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up before that battery decides to go as well. So I'm going to go off, finish my quesadilla, finish my pancakes. If you did enjoy this video, then please like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to find out when new videos are going up, and I will see you next time on a hopefully slightly more professional video on Big Foodie Geek. Take care of yourselves, bye bye. Next time I try and film and edit an impromptu video after work, someone slapped me because it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. Why did I do it? Why, really?